Very soon we will be introducing this to this. Hello, and welcome to a Burgertown Garage update. Short, I think. Not video, short. Anyways, so here's where the Subaru's at. I don't remember even what I've filmed at this point, but we've done some upgrades here. First of all, we've got a 3-port Grimspeed boost controller that is zip tied on very tightly because I don't have the right mount. This is from a different engine, I guess. So I made it work. But it is plugged in, it's plumbed to all the right places. We've also got Grimspeed top mount intercooler that's going to be paired up with a FP Blue turbo with a STI style outlet, which is kind of a pain because it means I can't use this thing. But so instead I got to get a specially made one that goes kind of up and around and then into the hole here. But no biggie. Just extra $100. You know, what's money when you got a Subaru? Also, I've got a Perrin turbo inlet as well as a Cobb short ram. Let's see what else. Oh, I also did 1000cc injectors. Injector Dynamics ID1000s. I've also got a Cobb downpipe right there. I don't have a wideband. I plan on getting one eventually, but you know, money is money. There it is right there. It's not bolted up to the NVIDIA catback just yet. I'm waiting on bolts and a gasket, which I did not get. That's cool. But what's left? So I've got a tune already on my access port. I just don't have, you know, the rest of the engine put together. I think all I have left at this point is, well, plug in this secondary air injector. I didn't delete it just because I didn't get the rest of the valves and stuff removed. I didn't feel like messing with all that. So I told the guy with the tune, leave the secondary air injector in, as well as the TGV valves, because I don't have deletes for those. Still need to put the alternator on. I need to put on the air compressor belt. Need to put on this belt, obviously. That charge pipe that I just mentioned. And the battery. And I think that's about it. Other than start it up and hopefully not be terribly disappointed. And it runs just fine, you know? I like to be somewhat positive. But yeah, hope to see some progress in the future. I'm sure the three of you who watch this video will also like to see progress. If you don't know, this is the Subaru in question. It is a 2011 WRX Premium with the big APR, I forget what model number it is, but it's a 300 something or other. Full carbon fiber, you know, it's solid. It ain't going anywhere unless the trunk comes off. And I don't really have much for mods inside, but it is a 5-speed, obviously being a WRX. Nothing's on right now. Also, there's no radio because I took it out for an upgrade right before I decided to just rip all this apart and you know, do some upgrades. So yeah, look for an update on that soon, question mark. Okay, here we are, almost at the finish line. Excuse my voice crack. I got the battery hooked up. I got the stretch belt installed, and I've got the regular alternator belt installed. I got my crazily bent tube from Grimspeed here, and I have just a temporary piece of plastic holding it for now because there's some edges here that there was like a little tube holder I had to cut off, and it was kind of pushing into the side of the tube, and I didn't want it to, you know, wear out or anything over time. But that's installed. I've got all the hose clamps on, got everything. I do have the fuel pump breaker, or a fuel pump fuse pulled, so I can crank it and prime it. However, I don't have any more coolant because we wasted it all on Brian's Forester. So looks like I'm gonna be grabbing some coolant today, and hopefully later tonight I can get back on it. I gotta go to a Memorial Day party, so I guess I gotta leave it here. Oh, I did go ahead and plug in the second O2 sensor down there. I'm still waiting on the exhaust bolts, but I figured it'll run as is, you know. I can throw some zip ties on there if need be, but, you know, whatever. It's not that big of a deal, I don't think. As long as the O2 sensors are plugged in, it's probably fine. But yeah, everything I can think of is tied up. We got some extra bolts, but, you know, no biggie. They're just, you know, weight savings, I imagine. All of my upgrade parts have been installed. This is just here now, I guess. Hold on to it so if I ever sell the intercooler, I can throw it in there. But I think that's everything, you know, for lack of better knowledge. I did notice way over here, not sure if you can see that very well, but the clutch juice is on the minimum line. So while I'm grabbing coolant, might as well grab oil as well, because I might do another oil change on this just because we had everything apart. But coolant, oil, clutch fluid, and exhaust bolts, and loading the tune, which I may just do now before I leave, just so that I know it's there, so I don't accidentally, you know, go ahead and start it without it, because I imagine that would be not preferable. So yeah, that's where she's at. Until the next update, I guess. Okay, here we go. This is the first start after all the upgrades. Don't mind this random piece of plastic here. It is temporary. I don't have the exhaust downpipe hooked up to the cat back because I'm still waiting on the bolts, so it might be a little bit loud, but we'll see what she sounds like. Yeah, I've tried the fuel pump a couple of times. Alright. You got something? So good. brand new turbo, so it'll be pretty smoky for a little bit, but that's okay. So far, so good. I'll bring you into the cabin real quick so you can see my my numbers here. I don't know why it doesn't want to focus. There it goes. So we got 14.2 on the AFR. No knock. Everything seems pretty okay. Got no check engine light. Everything looks okay. It's coming up to temperature now. Really doesn't like revving at all. But I don't know if that's because I haven't driven it enough on the tune or what. Might be a tune thing. I'll have to ask Carlos later, but for the moment, I mean, everything seems to be okay. It really doesn't like that. I should probably stop doing that. But as soon as I can get the exhaust bolted together, might be able to take this on a first drive finally. Looks like the fan's kicked on, or no, maybe not. Well, it looks okay. It's still burping. Thermostat should be opening shortly. But yeah, there goes the first start. You guys saw it here. Hopefully, after I get the exhaust bolted together, I can get an updated tune on this bad boy and maybe get it to rev a little smoother and not try to die every time it revs. That's not ideal, as you can imagine. But it looks like I got all the belt stuff hooked back up. I can hear the injectors on either side firing. They're really, really loud. Let me move my tripod here so I don't trip on it and kick it over again. I did have the fuel pump fuse out, and I did crank it probably 3 or 4 times just to make sure that there was oil and coolant in the turbo so that we didn't run it dry. Do another little check down here, make sure nothing's pouring out. Doesn't look like there is. That's good. But yeah, so I'm gonna do this a couple more times. I'm gonna see if I can't. I may have some bolts over here. Yeah, these are the ones I'm talking about. These, and then they have a little spring and then a small nut on the end of it. I may be able to come up with a couple of these and get this bolted together so I can so I can have a full exhaust, because right now it's just open downpipe, and that's, I mean, it sounds cool, but it's really freaking loud. So yeah, I'll see you guys in a bit when I get to drive it. So, little problem here. I just took this on a test drive to do some data logs, got back, and it ran fine, perfectly fine. Like, it sat there and it did the learning and all that, and then eventually it started bogging down under like half throttle. So I kind of let off a little bit, and surely enough, it stalled and it wouldn't restart. It restarted like once or twice, but then it acted like it wasn't getting any fuel at all. So I went up here and I unplugged this mass airflow sensor, and I could get it started and it would run. So something is off and causing it to I don't know, maybe leak boost, or maybe something's up with the fuel, although it seems like the fuel pump is pumping just fine. One of these lines was a little loose, so I clicked it back on, but it was the bottom one, which I believe is return, not I believe the top is feed, bottom is return, and I'm not really sure what this one is. Actually, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm talking out my ass. But I got it plugged back in. Let me see if I got anything at all. See, it starts, but then it'll start to idle down, and then it starts misfiring, and then it just shuts off completely. Acts like it's not getting enough fuel. Not really sure what's going on there. There were no codes stored, so I don't think any of the sensors went bad or anything. I'll check tomorrow morning, make sure everything's plugged in, but I'm fairly positive it is. But anyways, I got a couple of data logs here that I'm gonna go ahead and send you, but I don't know what's going on, and but I'm not worried that like I blew it up or anything. I don't think I did, but you know, still, I'd like it to run right. So, little problem here. I just took this on a test drive to do some data logs, got back, and it ran fine, perfectly fine. Like, it sat there and it did the learning and all that, and then eventually it started bogging down under like half throttle. So I kind of let off a little bit, and surely enough, it stalled and it wouldn't restart. It restarted like once or twice, but then it acted like it wasn't getting any fuel at all. So I went up here and I unplugged this mass airflow sensor, and I could get it started and it would run. So something is off and causing it to I don't know, maybe leak boost, or maybe something's up with the fuel, although it seems like the fuel pump is pumping just fine. One of these lines was a little loose, so I clicked it back on, but it was the bottom one, which I believe is return, not I believe the top is feed, bottom is return, and I'm not really sure what this one is. Actually, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm talking out my ass. But I got it plugged back in. Let me see if I got anything at all. See, it starts, but then it'll start to idle down, and then it starts misfiring, and then it just shuts off completely. Acts like it's not getting enough fuel. Not really sure what's going on there. There were no codes stored, so I don't think any of the sensors went bad or anything. I'll check tomorrow morning, make sure everything's plugged in, but I'm fairly positive it is. But anyways, I got a couple of data logs here that I'm gonna go ahead and send you, but I don't know what's going on. And but I'm not worried that like I blew it up or anything. I don't think I did, but you know, still, I'd like it to run right. Oh, just came back from a hour-long test drive slash data logging trip, and it went magnificently. Not a single problem. I am so fucking happy with this thing right now. Nothing leaking at the bottom. Nope. It's clean. Hell yeah. I'm so fucking happy. I can finally drive this car again. Hello, it's me. So I'm in here, you know, uploading my data log and, you know, watching some Vice Grip Garage and editing this video that you're watching right now. And I realized it jumped around a lot. My clips were not consistent. And I never did explain what the solution to my two major problems that I had after putting this all together. Problem number one, the clip that I said if I unplugged the mass airflow sensor, the car would die. That was caused by a massive boost leak. And it was leaking because I never tightened the clamp on the throttle body. I know, stupid rookie mistake, but you know, you get these new parts and you get excited and you do dumb shit like that. But that was quickly and easily rectified. Put the hose back on, tightened the clamp back up, and it ran good for about 10 minutes. And I never even recorded anything about that drive because it was like 10:30, 11 o'clock at night, and I just wanted to get it done. So I'm driving around, and mind you, this is just after like a huge rain. So when I started having throttle related issues, I thought I had ingested a bunch of water somehow, so I was freaking out. But what ended up happening was there was like a piece of plastic or a piece of a plug or something was wedged up inside the end tank of the intercooler, and it had gotten sucked out eventually down all the way through the charge pipe from the intercooler to the throttle body, and it had gotten wedged in the throttle body and was holding it just ever so slightly open so that it wouldn't close all the way, so it wouldn't idle below like 1500 RPM. And I couldn't go full throttle. I felt like I was in like a limp mode or something. It was really weird. I had tried doing a idle relearn. I tried unplugging and plugging back in the throttle body, all this other stuff. And what ended up fixing it was I took the intercooler off because I'm like, okay, either throttle body's bad or the wiring's bad or something's wrong with it. Take off all the tubing and stuff, and look down there with my phone, and sure enough, there's a plug just wedged into the throttle body, and I'm like, oh my god, I feel so stupid. But these are the things that you find during a shakedown. I'm told it's normal. I mean, usually you try to avoid all this kind of stuff, but shit happens, But you catch it, you fix it, you move on. Hopefully you haven't damaged anything irreparably. So yeah, I got all that fixed. Took it on the test drive earlier today and drove for about an hour. No issues whatsoever. Not a single one. Didn't overheat. Didn't lose any oil. Didn't lose any coolant. It never stalled. The idle was perfect. It was running fine. I don't know what to expect with the turbo yet, so I don't know if I was getting all the boost I should have been or not, but I guess that's for the tuner to decide. But I wasn't getting any no check engine lights, so I don't think I was getting any major leaks like I was last night. But yeah, so anyways, thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll have something else to film soon. Maybe an old piece of shit car that I'm trying to get running again. I don't know. But as always, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.